Lesson 14.5, Understanding and Measuring Volume. So we're going to be finding the volumes of cubes and rectangular prisms, and also finding the volume of a solid constructed from unit cubes. We're going to compare volumes of cubes, rectangular prisms, and other objects. So here's one way to think about volume. The watermelon takes up more space than the orange. This is because the watermelon has a greater volume than an orange. The volume of an object is the amount of space it occupies. So I'm going to read that again. The volume of an object is the amount of space it occupies. So we're going to be comparing, let me make sure I didn't skip a page here. Yeah. We're going to be comparing the volumes of the objects. Which one has the greater volume? Obviously, the football has a greater volume than the baseball. The carton has a greater volume than the gift box. And the basketball has the greater volume than the can. We're going to find the volumes of cubes and rectangular prisms in cubic units. So the volume of a cube or a rectangular prism is the number of cubic units needed to make it. This is a unit cube, and it has a volume of 1 cubic unit. This cube is made up of 8 unit cubes, so the volume is 8 cubic units. So the first layer has 4 cubes, and the second layer has 4 cubes. So you're counting the number of unit cubes used to make the larger cube here. This rectangular prism is made up of 12 unit cubes. You can see they're just in rows. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you just have to count the unit cubes in order to know what the volume is. These prisms are also made up of unit cubes. So if one layer has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you have each layer has 16 cubic units in it, and then you have 4 layers. So it would be 4 times 16 is how you would figure out the volume of this prism. Or this one has also one layer of 16, but it has 2 layers. So you would do 2 times 16, which give you your number of cubic units. You can find the volume of a solid in cubic units, even if it's not a solid with different layers in it. This solid is made up of 10 unit cubes. So we have 1 on the top, and then on the bottom layer, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these solids are made up of unit cubes. You'll have plenty of time to practice this in your workbook, so we're not going to go ahead and count these. You're going to compare the volumes of solids by counting them and then seeing which one has less volume and which one has more volume. So the volume of this cube is 8 cubic units. The volume of this rectangular prism is 16 cubic units, and the volume of this solid object is 8 cubic units. The cube or solid has a lesser volume than the rectangular prism. The cube has the same value as the solid, and the rectangular prism has a greater volume than the cube or the solid. So you'll have some guided learning with this on your IXL and in your workbook, so we're not going to do it here. Finding the volume of a solid using units of measurement. So these are some units of measurement that you can use for volume. You have a cubic centimeter is centimeters cubed. You would put the exponent of 3. So 1 centimeter length, 1 centimeter width, 1 centimeter height would be 1 cubic centimeter or centimeter cubed. 1 cubic inch, same thing. You're going to have here's the length, here's the width, here's the height. And so it's 1 inch in all areas. So it's going to be 1 cubic inch or inch to the third. The length of each side of the cube is 1 centimeter. So the volume of the cube is 1 centimeter cubed. 1 cubic foot. This one is an example. Sorry, I read that wrong. But this one here, the dark blue one, is an example of a cubic foot. So you have 1 foot for each of these measurements, the length, the width, and the height. And so the volume of the cube is 1 foot cubed. Same with meters. If each side is 1 meter, and you've got the length, the width, and the height, and they're all 1 meter, it'll be 1 cubic meter or meters cubed. The length of each edge of the cube is 1 meter, so the volume of the cube is 1 meter. This rectangular prism is made up of 16 1-inch cubes. So the length is 4 inches, the width is 2 inches, and the height is 2 inches. So the volume of the rectangular prism is 16 inches because you would have 4 times 2 times 2 would be 8 times 2 is 16. So this solid is made up of 1-foot cubes, and you would just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in length, and then 3 in width times 3 in height. So for this one, you would have 5 times 3 is 15, and then 15 times 3, I'll have to figure that one out. So 15 times 3 would be 15, 3 would be 45 feet cubed. So you're also going to compare the volumes of solids, just like you did in the last section. So this prism is made up of 9 1-centimeter cubes, so the volume is 9 centimeters cubed. This solid shape is made up of 7 1-centimeter cubes, so its volume is 7 centimeters cubed. 9 centimeters cubed is greater than 7 centimeters cubed, so it has a greater volume. Shape A has a greater volume than shape B. And we are not doing the hands-on activity because we are not at school. So I believe that is the end of this lesson because you're going to be doing all of your practice on IXL and in your workbook during live math class.